IGN Rewind Theater is presented by Remember Me. Coming to consoles and PC June 4th. Remix memories, change the world.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind Theater for the PlayStation 4 ad. I'm Greg Miller, and this is the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
Beyond to you, Colin. Colin, you didn't want to do this originally.
No.
You said,
and we already did it once, so let's do it again.
Well, they don't know that. But even before we did the first one, you didn't want to do this. But I think I've changed your mind.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in here. It's just a little disappointing because, you know, it's just a lot of vents and fan covers.
Right, and there's some controller stuff. We think you think you found the PlayStation Eye in there.
Yeah, it looks like the camera's in there.
A lot of things people have been pointing out on the internet through all these crazy things. You know, originally people were like, oh, it's a square, it's a cube. The shadow behind the cube there doesn't look like it perfectly matches up with a square.
I don't know.
Kind of like the square's just there blocking the real console.
I just feel like me understanding how a shadow is supposed to fall, it requires me to understand math, Greg.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
I think it's geometry.
Well, that is math.
Is it?
Yes.
Galileo. Anyways, going forward. So, Colin, this is our first look at anything.
Yep.
And I think your gut reaction would be, oh, cool, PlayStation logo. But it's got that, like, graphite matte finish there in the background. I'm saying this is on the system somewhere.
Yeah, well, I think everything we're seeing is on the system.
Well, some of it I think is controller. Some of it.
Well, let's just put it this way: it's all hardware.
There we go. Now you're
so yeah, it looks like it's a matte finish, kind of like PS Slim.
Yeah.
The second one, not the new one.
Yeah. Not the George Foreman girl.
Right.
Going a little bit deeper in here, we start getting these things.
Yeah, some like weird. See, like, this is where things kind of get a little awkward because, as someone pointed out so aptly in the comments on one of the IGN stories, it just looks like a lot of places for dust to go.
Right. Well,
so
this is clearly a memory card reader.
Yep.
It's confirmed backwards compatible. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I think you're a little confused, but no doubt. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's going to be a lot of vents and stuff. I'm sure this is a bit of a beast, this hardware, so it's going to need to cool down.
Right, we already know the specs on this guy, bad boys. Now, this is an interesting one. And when I first saw this, I thought it looked kind of speakerish. Kind of like it would go in the receiver of a telephone, but it also obviously looks like the vents you'd see on a PC.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks like a fan cover.
Now, what's interesting about it, and Brian Altano was quick to point this out, is there's that rounded back there, making it look like it's going to be like there's circles. And even you follow the crop circle here, it's giving off that circle radius, to which Brian thought maybe the whole system is like flat and jagged in the front with little levels and ledges, and then in the back on the corners are these like rounded cooling vents.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, a box in which it's rectangular in the front because we see it a little bit later, and then rounded in the back. It's Sony makes sexy hardware, so
exactly, and that's the big thing about it. Here we go. Here's some vents. Here's some dust collectors.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a reflection here, so that looks like the bottom back of, you would assume, the console.
See, I would say bottom front maybe, right? Because the back is going to have HDMI hookups and power.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If you look to the left here, there's something going on here to the left that we can't quite see.
You think that's maybe the plug-in, the plugger?
Could be.
Pluggeroo.
I mean, it's probably. I mean, how many ports is this thing going to have? It's going to have.
Show them all the ports.
It's going to have an HDMI port probably.
Right.
Ethernet cable, power,
Do you think
and maybe optical, and that's it.
It's going to have composite cables? Component cables?
I hope not.
It'll have to have component cables, right?
I mean, I would assume that it has to be most accommodating, but I hope not. If you need to get a new TV if your TV can't accommodate HDMI cables.
Back to this. Looks like DualShock 4 here.
Yeah, looks like the controller.
You get the round bulbous things coming down. There you go. A little bit further. This guy we don't know.
Yeah.
The director bar. Looks like they're gonna walk in and clack it in front of your face.
Yeah, I feel like we're looking at the front of the system from the top back. Like, so you're looking at it from the top, but if you were to rotate, I guess, clockwise 90 degrees, you'd be looking at it in the front, if that makes any sense.
I think so. I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and it just has that color because of the reflection of the light, I think.
Well,
it looks like it's silver.
Looks like an MC Escher drawing or something. I don't even... What's up, what's down? I don't know. Go forward. Backdoor square. Here you go. A line.
Oh, it's very nice. A very straight line. It's a straight line.
Yeah, it's a speed line. Makes it go faster. I don't know if that's true. Now we start getting interesting.
Yeah,
so if you're going off the Altano theory, this would be the very front of the system.
Yeah, the front left.
Then if you front left, and if you follow that hard line off screen to the back to the top left, you'd see the rounded corners where the cooling vent would be. If we go a little bit further here on the angular surface, we start seeing this stuff. This looks like it's in front too, right? Wouldn't you assume?
Yeah, I think. What did I say in the last video? This is to the right of what we just saw.
Right.
Not necessarily like seamlessly, but this is somewhere to the right of it, I would think.
Sure, there's some space there.
Yeah.
Moving a little further. The 4.
Yeah, and so that will obviously be in place, and you can see again the texture of the matte.
Right.
finish, I was saying that, it would be cool if it was just a 4 on it. I'm sure it's going to say PS4 on it, but it would be cool if it was just blazed with a 4.
Yeah, coming up in a little bit, you get a better shot of the 4. And Altano, again, thought that would be interesting if that was the controller but historically DualShocks have that printed on there. They're not etched into it. Here we got another look at this like two-tone, right? The matte coming down to meet the silver. What the hell is this system going to look like?
Oh,
Chrome finish again, like the original PS3?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, it reminds me a lot of the early PS3s with the silver, the silver touches, as it were, with a mostly black system.
More memory card holders.
There's at least 6 of them. It's interesting because it looks like one of those, like, proprietary memory card.
Right, like a compact flash or something goofy like that to put in there.
Hopefully they ditch that.
Yeah, well, that's what they got out of the PS3s early on. More lines. More matte finish, meaning more straight hard lines. More boxes. Here we go. Now things get interesting. We looked at these. They look like speakers. We didn't know what they were. Is the system going to have speakers on it, Colin? That don't make a lick of sense.
No, I think this is probably the camera.
Right. Right there. That looks like the touchpad on the controller, and you'll see a closer shot of that. More vents. Great. Awesome. Keep on breathing. Oh, wow, more vents.
So I'm saying, like, I just don't feel like this video is, like, all that compelling.
I think it's interesting. Again, we're talking about the
there's like nothing hidden in here, like you would think that if you slowed it down frame by frame, like we have. Like,
well, it's because they're smart. If this is truly the touchpad, look at how close we are on the touchpad. I mean, these things look huge, like huge holes in the system, but it's probably super zoomed in.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, like, there's no Easter egg here. There's like nothing like, really super noteworthy.
There's the S. It looks like next to the 4,
which is disappointing because hopefully, like if we can take a look at all the pictures as one and put together a puzzle and only get half the pieces of the puzzle together, you'd be able to get a pretty good idea of what the console looks like. But there's really not even enough here to do that.
But
because, like you said, it's really zoomed in.
Right. These giant gaping, breathing holes.
Like that 4 is probably like literally an inch long at the most.
Right.
On the actual console.
Now this is the most interesting thing, I think, and you're the one who pointed it out. That's the camera, you think?
I think so, but
we have the two because it's a dual lens they talk about before. So you figure one lens here, the other two panels away, and then these are speakers or some kind of infrareds or whatever.
Yeah, it could just be the design of it too, or like pickups for voice and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they'd have to be.
We don't really know.
The question then, is it on a table there? Is it on a stand? What is that?
It looks like it's on a table. I mean, it couldn't be attached to the console. That would be troubling. Huh?
Is Sony going to sell us that table?
I hope so.
All right, good. And here you go, more close-ups of the vents, close-up of the 4. DualShock 4 buttons.
Yeah, the trigger. Or the D-pad. I did this in the last video. So it's a D-pad. You can see the little matte arrow pointing up.
So what is that off to the side of that button there? Do we know that button?
The new, it's the option button, right? Or what do they call it?
Right. Instead of start. No, I think, no, it is. It's options. And that's now start and select ones. More lines. Well, that's not. There's a line. There's the actual controller itself. So
that's the speaker on the controller.
Speaker. You see the bulbous of the 2 controller sticks there. Looks again like this is close up on the camera, really tight. I wonder if this is a Ray Gutierrez joint.
Could be. Could be.
Look at this thing. Probably the bottom of a PlayStation Move wand. PlayStation Move confirmed.
It looks like the bottom of like one of the handles on the DualShock.
Being funny. We've got the brick getting closer. Bam. PlayStation 4.
That's it.
And then, of course, look for it to be revealed June 10th, 6 p.m. You can watch it here on IGN.com. We have pre-game coverage. We have the game coverage, and then we have the post-game coverage. So it still has nothing for you, Colin.
No.
I guess maybe for me it's exciting because it's the first, like, hey, PlayStation 4 ad. This is it.
It's designed. It's designed, and I give them credit. It's designed to take some of the thunder away from the Xbox announcement.
Right.
But it's just, and it's cool. It's like, wow, we're getting really, like, this is the hardware. Like, we're seeing it, but I don't know. Like that fake.
Never enough for Colin Moriarty.
Well, no, it's just the fake commercial. Ironically, that we saw last week was 10 times better than this.
Yeah, if you missed that one, you should go look for the IGN article or look for it on YouTube.
And it wasn't even that we saw the hardware, like the fake hardware, and that
it was
cool.
Ad.
It was just
a
really
cool.
Really
ad.
cool.
People staring. They were in a black room, right, staring ahead, and then like there was like light shown in their face, and you could see the buttons in their eyes, like triangle, square, circle.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Well, Colin, tomorrow's that Xbox event. We'll see how much. This probably took the wind out of their sails.
Oh yeah,
they're going to show extreme close-ups of their air vents. What are we going to do?
Yeah, this is it. This is the one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for everything about the next generation of video game hardware, you can keep it right here on IGN. And remember, every conference at E3 will have a pre-show, a post-show, a during show. You can watch everything here. So when E3 comes around, unplug your phone, put your dog in the bathroom with a bag of food, say, there you go, dog, and then keep it right here on IGN.